mother. Because when you have these two roles in your mind all the time, you will be more conscious in the way that you carry your life and the kind of conversation you have with any other opposite sex that comes to the office. When you take these two out, then you become the young girl. Your kind of talk, casual talk, when the talks, and all those things, because there's no connection to anybody. You are responsibility, and you are desiring this one spur of the moment kind of thing, and for your own reason, that can be so destructible to your family. So when you're listening to us today, these things that happen later, the sexually transmitted disease, the extramarital, come in and say, okay, I would like to have an affair with you. No, no one will ever come to you and say, I would like to have an affair with you. It takes all these little that are working in the relationship, and also the other factors that are contributing, maybe not in the office, maybe for those of you, maybe through your Facebook page. I'm not in the Facebook. I'm not in any of the social media. I'm an old scholar. So Facebook, or somebody saying hello to you on the Facebook, and then you become engrossed in it, and without you knowing, you are connected to this person that you've been talking to on the Facebook. And it doesn't necessarily mean for you to physically see them in the office like what I'm doing, but it can be right there on your hand when everybody else have gone to work, gone to school. You have to be careful of what you go through in your phone. Because I think it was 5 years ago or 6 years ago, we were in England, and we came to London to visit this couple. A beautiful young girl, very beautiful young girl. They have two beautiful children. We were actually taken to this family by one of our church members that they want us to go and visit. We came in, moments, prayers, talks, and when we left, the lady who had actually said for us to visit this couple and said, they look like a very beautiful couple, a beautiful family. I said, what happened? According to the story, when she was sharing, she said the wife doesn't work. She stays home with the two. The guy is a British Army, and they live in London. And there's this girl that he was involved in. Every time as she goes to bed, when the wife goes, he's always sitting in front of the computer in their study room. And one of those moments, or one of those nights, without offing the computer, when she came down the next morning, and she watched that they were actually having sex using the phone, And to this day, they are no longer together. They went their separate. And he was having that affair through Facebook with a young girl all the way in Fiji. And that young girl came across and moved on. While with the two children, I don't know the story now because that was years back. I'm just bringing it here because those are the things that is happening. It's not just happening now, it has been happening, but no one has been highlighting or even talking about it. But I want to talk about it. We want to talk about it because it can benefit today. For you, it can be, I'm just, like somebody will come, or your wife will come, or your husband will come. Hey, I saw your post on the Facebook to that. No, it's just a Facebook. It's just a comment. Like you react. I'm just saying hello. No, there's something happening. I don't even know him. Does it hurt for me to say hello? Yeah. It can be so innocent from the beginning, but when you're not careful, that innocence, adultery, marital affairs with somebody that you just struck up on the phone. And sometimes you feel so bored, or sometimes you are just your husband for doing something that you didn't like. So you thought to yourself, okay, since you do that, I want to do it too. And you go searching on the Facebook. And when and that can be the beginning of the breakup of your family. So it can be an anger of the spur of the moment. People do things for different reasons. You're having extra own reason only known to yourself. Some you're not satisfied with your sex life at home. Some you're not satisfied with just having a normal family person. Some you do it because you so much ego. You think that you have a high position. My wife is a woman in every part, in every town, in every city that I visit. So you do your extramarital affairs for your own reasons. But that doesn't last. Yeah. And if everything else, like you continue to do that, your family lives and they move on. You decide that you're too old to be doing all these things, then my dear, no one is around to look after you. You've been playing around throughout your life, and you'll be blessed if your children look up and say, oh, I better look after my daddy. Or your children will say, I better look after mommy. Throughout the life, you're busy doing what you're doing, but one day it will come back to you. And this is the time for you to relook, rethink, and ask yourself, is this the kind of, or do I enjoy what I have? Because you can create something out of your boring family. You can go out of your way to create something. Or you and be honest with each other. Say, I've been watching pornography. Tell your wife, tell your husband, I've been watching pornography. I'm sorry to tell you this, but I've been watching pornography. I've been watching pornography because I've noticed that our sex life is boring, and I've been watching that to get excitement, because when you're being honest, talk about it and to your marriage. Don't talk about it here, you'll go looking for it out there, and that is the beginning of you two just leaving each other.
Yeah, and watching pornography, it's
addiction.
Sin. It's a sin. I remember Jesus said, you don't have to commit adultery. No, just by thinking. She's saying that this man all the way in England and the woman back in Fiji. So it's like a disease. It's something that we need to be careful. It's something that is spiritual.
Yeah.
So the solution, it's no medicine. It's got to do with your heart. It's got to do with your mind. And when you are matured enough, you will discern that this thing is coming or is trying to unload on you. And imagine if you have a one-night stand and you come back with a disease. Yeah. Imagine the family that you love.
Yeah.
You will not leave your family or that girl in the office. No, you will never do that. But that one-night stand can bring a destruction to your family. The very family. Because if you will bring that only one, that just lasts. Yeah? Yeah. It poison your life, poison your system. No, reading through the dying young, and it's not a nice death, you know. We hear when you die from AIDS or HIV positive, when you die from that disease, it's not a nice death. That means something very, very drastic when you cross that border. Right. That is not right. Because the world, they turn it to be like right, people start to do it because the world, it can be approved by United Nations or whatever country that they come together. But because the Creator himself, sex to be very special between a man and a woman, a husband and a wife. It's supposed to be very, very special. Because the world paints a picture that is okay. See? And people start to live to that environment and expectation. Kiko tal se ko turania busa se ko veluta ke na buna inda daka ni sa daka tiko sa daka patiko so sana no misando see picture is something that is okay. We are living to the picture. Ana mune bang dombulo kina na kena sengani dilta ki vital no taki bango se vuno na ni taltala me vuno taki mai. Porque se tu ni do vuno taki. E tamu na la se tuba. Ko ni ko la se tuba. E sengani ya. Ya na kango ko em basura ka tu na matawale. Na kango ko susungi tu ko kina urna ngone. Era stag ni ko. Sama ibu otapa takina. And they are not accepted in either family. E so bo binakatoka bo vingo mitoka bita, se vingo mitoka. But e so nangon rubita o se otapa takina. Ragay luto nangon ngo luto sarto ngabir no na grandfather, grandmother. Yes, they fall into wrong hands.
Yeah.
Balata saranga na lenga ni biadowi. Na uto ni lenga na biadowi. Ni chukumi ko na mate ni ngaro last. Go endo na mulango. Kona kautamay na lenga, kona kautamay na kaboro, kona kautamay na tangi. Lemo na dorbo ra tugoy tao ni lemo na dorbo. Balata saranga na mate ngo kapag tukay tiko na mate ni kaya mo sa Britanya last.
Yeah.
Na last siya doon na kaya kau sa tungakin na tebro na kaya tunga na taga ni teboro ya o kaya kaya pangatakan na tamata kaya pangatakan tunga na tamata kaya bali daw sa alo matua mi wekani na siwinan ko sa ngaw na nihanan ravaki kaya makasapwa tumaw ko na stats sabi na tumaw ka bitamaw ko na HIV increase in 260%. Kaya mo daw. Biti, tokay, erang bukete, nangonin ni Muli, and doon na undolo. Ano, o si Tol Nembak, in the last 3 years. Or to na, na matito sa nakamatsi ko na itabi. Yo, kenda na bilu taki, na koro. Au tukulat ko, na koro, rani, baka nga tagi sa bakalewu. Kenda lewe na, dundi sa kusungulutu, dundi matagali, dundi abusa, karon inandami, bital mo tagikina. May kakuni na songo sa me edo tunga tini dua bole sona songo sa singa tunga ini ngole ledo kina singa kunetiko sa tunitiko mero salas tiko kango salas tiko kango ke kango rongo ruba kawati rurua senatura ngai pakawati na elewa engone elewa mai pakawati vida tuna lena o na tangane o ko edorbu kana bi matangani na kango me vital no taki ele mo nangon da vital no taka tu na mula raraba na kanga ba kay labo na mula nga bi ko toro taki ya na moral value sange ka kaburu-buru tu nga senga vital no taki mandango e vida tu na ni korongo matu bala kaboro sange tu kemendo ni tal-tala dulo man may vitor ni usa do vital no man adaba no tutuko lebu tu na matu bala kaboro lebu tu na lasa la kutiko kalemu na ka kenda ni reda kina aku kongo balta kenda rola ngani na kena bagay dor oro ni kota na ose kina udiwai ya na ngunu ke bagato na ose ke bal kena non dei tabi na sona programo metarbo nga na lei sota tiko sa lei matanifica la lei sa tangi mai na tose ta tonga na sota sa lei kabor tu na matawale balta na ba o kena na bi ko binagatu mai na matawale kina itiko Soko lotu, kinana, and be.
The leaders will do what they need to do. The leaders will create programs and awareness for those that are able. Some churches, they may not even bother with it, but some will take that on. People are different. We cannot force these organizations or these village heads to do it. But like what Gasile was saying, what Pastor Art was saying today, that it will be beneficial to the people of our nation. To be able to create that awareness. As long as you hear, and going back, I mean, the fact for you to make the decision to do it, that's your choice. Like if I hear, like say for us, we are standing here, there's 5 of us here, we have 3 behind the camera. If we hear something, the same thing that we hear, I might choose not to do anything about it. 2 may choose. So however it's created, may not be done by everybody who hears it, but at least a percentage of that group, some will take to it. And it's I think it's everybody have to play a role. It's not only on the village heads, it works in the village heads for those of you that stays in, like for Turaki, you have different houses going around the street. So the only place they might go to is a church, if they attend church, go to school, or they belong to a group, or if not, they are just not exposed to anything other than the TV screen you're watching right now. So you get to be hearing things of this nature talked about. And when we look back, looking at the whole curriculum in the whole school unit, because we are actually talking about adults and people like in their 50s, in the 60s, they are raping, they're doing this thing, moving on. And we talk about these children that are growing up, that are still going to school, And as they do, we are concentrating mostly on the academics and also the extracurriculum activities. They have rugbies, they have sports, those kind of thing. And the academics, we have extra classes. We have Careers Expo that comes and talks about it. We do with that also for, we're actually advertising a youth program that's going to be happening in December. And that is a youth program that we are trying to market here from home, to be exposed to knowledge and awareness that they will need to make the decisions on their own. And because we felt like it's not done anywhere else other than if they choose to watch it. So when you actually look at all these things, and which is a far cry from what it's supposed to be, but if you look at the school system, and we know we have identified, like it, we see the things that we can see or report the things that are actually happening. But when they grow into their adulthood, there is no counsel. They are being all the books in their academics. They're being taught in the physical essence when they do all the extracurricular activities. But when it comes to the moral, there are some schools, it's a Christian school or a Korwinilotu, there are morals taught in the school. But here, those kind of moral value teaching, unless and until they look for it. So another way of looking at it, if something that can be done or created from school level, just to be made as it can be, and awareness, to be taught. I don't know how you're going to include that, either to be included or part for choosing, like when you go for games or go for physical education, for you to be able, or for the children to be able to have a forum, these things when they are still in school, because they don't hear it from home. Most homes, they to their daughters and say, okay, you don't have sex, or you make sure you don't do things. If you have a girlfriend, you don't do that. Most families, they don't talk to their children like that, but they need.
Some schools, they have either spiritual enhancement, moral values. Subjects. So they talk on how to build up character.
Yes.
In some school, they have that.
So like what he said, some schools have it, but it's not supposed to be depending on some schools who have it. It has to be, somebody needs to take ownership. If the Ministry of Education takes ownership of it, then they, because if it comes from the ministry or comes from the government, comes from that status, it will be something that every school needs to rise up to and take ownership. Other than only as and when some schools want to do it, because they see the decay, the moral decay, the moral values is just keep on decreasing in school. Out for these things, try and salvage their school from, the indiscipline and everything that is happening. But if it becomes a curriculum, say for a half an hour a week, to have that awareness, just for the children or for the young boys and girls to hear the repercussions, hear, what happens if, because I believe some of these young girls, they don't even know that sex lead them, will make them pregnant. Some of these young girls, when they give, so when they engage themselves into this sexual activity, they never know that they will get pregnant. I mean, it may sound silly, but I think some of them, they don't.
They need to hear.
And they need to hear it. This is what happened. If you do this, this is what happened. They need to hear it at the early stage of their lives, so it will ring a bell, or it will make them aware as and when they meet up with all these things, that they're able to, to make the right decisions in their lives. So we are not, we don't live our life or the parents are not doing their job, or the parents are not talking to them, or the parents will look and say, oh, they spend more time in the school. The school should be doing this thing. Should be doing this. The church leaders should be saying this. The church leaders should be able to, do these things, or the village heads should. So I believe this should be enough finger pointing of who's responsible. Everybody needs to take ownership and say, okay, I am responsible. So look at your level of exposure, look at your level of your status, look at the level of, on not looking at others and say, you should do that, or they should do that. I don't believe that. I believe that we should just look in and say, I am, and this is what I look after, and this are the church. For me, I take all these things that we talk about, or all the things that come out in the papers, given the opportunity, my first one is the church that we belong to. Because we are in a position or in a platform for us to share, listen, and they listen to what we say. So whatever that I hear from here, I couldn't care less what the other organization is doing or the village head should be doing that. No, that's my problem. What I hear and I take from here, and I make sure that I relate these things right down to the level of the church that we look after. If you haven't heard, hear it. This is it. If you don't know, know it. This is it. And if you are not aware, be aware. This is it. And whatever the information that is laid out or executed from our level, then it's everybody's decision to do that. We don't force them to make the decision, but we help them to make the decision. So as we talk about these issues that are contributing factors in marriage breakup, family breakup, death because of HIV, and all these things that are shortening people's life. People are dying young. People keep on losing their weight, and sometimes they don't get for it because they continuously think, oh, it's just one of those things. I'm just losing weight, or like not even know. And then when they're being tested or post-mortem, then they realize, why, this person died of AIDS, or this person died of untreated HIV. And then the realities speak, but the people have died. So people are dying young. And the benefit of just talking about these things, this family table talk, because it can save a life of whoever is listening in today. It can save a marriage, and also it can save a family. So whatever you do, it's the individual that does the choices. It's the individual that makes those choices. It's the individuals that actually choose one. So you, as the individual, you say to your life today, what do you really want? Do you love your family? Are you content with your family? You're content with your children? Because if you go out looking for it, because if you love who your family are, you will be so happy for them. And home, to school, when you leave home to go to work, you'll always remember your family because you have a responsibility to your family. But when you're not engaged, the tendency to do whatever you want to do that can lead you to trouble is very rife. So parents, engage with your children. And we're trying to eliminate the absenteeism from home. If we have been socializing the whole week, drinking, pub crawling from Monday to Friday or to Saturday, keep some of the days for you to be at home. Just engage with your children and tell your children that you love them. And sometimes when we look, they've grown out. And they're living home. And then you begin to realize, why I felt like I've never spent any time with my children because you're always absent from home. Find the time, engage with your family, engage with your children, because there's a lot of moral decay. We are in a state of decay. Like, things are decaying away. It's no longer here. The integrity that we once had, it's no longer here. The professionalism that we once performed, it's no longer here. Everybody's just being casual with their life, just living the life to live, and then there is no class in our living. So just another reminder from this family table talk to your home or to wherever you're listening from. You have been engaged in all these things or committing extramarital affair, tell the woman, go back, enough, I love my family. Or if you're a woman, tell that man, enough, I want to go back to my family and I love. That love for your family, it carries a long way, because that short term or whatever relationship that you're having right now, it doesn't last well. The very family that loved you for who you are may be no longer there. So appreciate your home, appreciate your family, and hug each other. Tell them that you love them. Hug your children and tell them that you love them. And I know as we come towards the end of this program, class 8 exam on the other one, and now we have the year 13, and I believe the year 12 are also coming up with their external exam. So to those of you students who are studying, those of you students that are getting ready for your papers, do your best, because we believe, the end of a school or 4 years of being in high school. This is it, the determining factor moving forward of what you can be. And also parents, let's play our role and just to make sure that they're good and believe in them. And also pray for them if you're a Christian and believe in God, because where we end, somebody else is there with them as well. So love your family like you've never loved them before as we come towards the end of the program today.
Yeah, we thank everyone for tuning in this morning, and we believe the topic that we discuss and share for this 1.5 hour will be very beneficial to every individual. And if you hold position wherever you are, you can also take it on. Not forgetting our young people. 13 is next week, and 12 you will begin next week. So we take this time to send our best wishes to everyone that we will be sitting, your external or your speaker. We believe you enjoy the secondary school life. For those of you that new work, new tertiary, or new university, or even you go overseas, we take the time to send all our best wishes to you. And also the family, as Radini already said, try to play our role as custodians, as a mother, as a father, as a guardian to those young people. They will be in that room doing their examination. So all the best. Once again, all the best. God be with you in next examination.
Also next week we will be greeting you all the way from Winnipeg in Canada. So we're looking forward to that program. And we thank you, and also thank MyTV for this beautiful setup. Thank you, Chonati and Chavedi and Anna Ray and the team for bringing about the Poch out here in Turaki in MyTV. So we thank you once again, and Vinaka Bakalevu, if you have nowhere to go and you're staying home, tune in to MyTV. There's a lot of church programs going, and I believe for the other broadcasters as well, as in FBC and TV1, but I can confidently speak because we have programs starting from 5 to 6, and we call it the Daily Campus, and we also have a 6 to 7 with Reverend. He's preaching. He's always airing evangelism, and it's from the Methodist Church in Fiji. And also we have the 7 o'clock from talking to our children, or the Sunday school. Last week I had all my grandchildren, or the small ones, sitting here a screen. Thank you, Teacher Lela. Very easy for them to learn the Bible verses, and they enjoyed the program. One of them couldn't stay longer, so didn't finish the program, but 2 stayed towards the end, and it's really, really beautiful. And then you have the 8 to 9 on the power in the Word, and it goes on. The whole day is full of. You have no church to go. Tune in to MyTV that you can be fed spiritually and get you ready for the upcoming week. And also, what else do we have going?
29, you've been seeing the ad, the promotion. 29 to the 4th of January 2024. You saying goodbye to 2023 and saying hello 2024. You will never be disappointed. So registration, meal, and transportation. We are looking forward to serve the young people of Fiji. Come 29.
It's going to be inclusive of excursions, of career talks, and also evangelism, visitation, and we also have so see us on the 29th and join us. If you don't belong to the church or even belong to any denomination, be children when they come. Even if they don't come through the whole period, bring them on New Year's, because New Year's there are other things happening. Something else, they come back home hungry or battered up. This one here, they come back spiritually enhanced, full, and they're not. So get your children to join us on the 29th of December and call the number that has been advertised on all our promos on the TV. Or check in at MyTV. So Vinaka Bakalevu.
A family is an epitome of God's love to us mankind. God designed us to live in relationships are important to Him.
But as a believer, do you feel that you're still struggling?
Maybe you're still struggling with your relationship,
Struggling with
struggling at work,
your social life?
or with your spiritual life.
We invite you to join us
On our family table,
at 7:30 a.m. on my TV.
or catch us on our Facebook page.